Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So just finished recording Akane Banashi Spy Family and another Yona video. So we're going to get around to Yona of the Dawn volume 20. 26 or 27? 26. In a second here, I feel like I accidentally said 26 on the last video. Not a big deal. But yeah, so we're going to get into it here. Just a few things before we start. Like I mentioned in a couple of my other videos, if you haven't already, please do consider commenting, and subscribing, all that good stuff, because the YouTube endorphins really like it when people push those buttons, because it tells us that these videos are worth promoting. And if you'd like to help me promote my channel this year, that would be greatly appreciated. Like also mentioned in the other videos, plan is still to be caught up with Yona by the end of the month. So I took a look at how many volumes are left. And based on the pace I'm going at, by February 4th or so, I should be able to finish up or get close to caught up with the series. So probably February 11th, I'm tentatively saying onwards, I'll start introducing Battle Angel Alita into the read-through rotation. So look forward to that as well. But yeah, without further ado, let us get into it with Yona of the Dawn, Volume 26. With story and art by Mizuho Kusanagi. As we have chapter 147, Awe. And we pick up where we left off last time, with looks like the dragons have all been knocked unconscious after they did the dragon force field around Yona. And you have Gobi going, so, those are Koka's 4 legendary dragons from the myths. And this man looks like he's about to have an orgasm from what he just saw. And his flunkies are like, I've heard stories, but I can't believe they're real. Do they belong to King Suwon? And you have, I'm envious. I envy King Suwon. I had no idea he possessed such divine power. How is it fair? He's like, wait. From all appearances, the dragons were protecting Princess Yona. Princess Yona of Koka appears to be helping the anti-war faction. But I wonder what her relationship with King Suwon is like at the moment. I don't have time for this. I want to get Princess Tao married to King Suwon. I want to learn about the monsters of Koka and possess them myself. I want to kill Korin. There's so much I want to do. And you see Yun calling out the dragon warrior's names, going, wake up! Forgot to mention that I'm still suffering from a cold, so my throat and nose are still out of commission. So if my voice sounds weird, that's the reason why. I'm also going to try to limit the amount of shouting and stuff I do because I don't want to stress my throat anymore. Yeah, just want to let that out there in case you're wondering. And Yun's like, what do we do now? It's like, hey, they're not moving. It's like, what? Are they dead? It's like, unconscious, I think. It's like, let me look. It's like divine power. It's like, they look human. And you see all the soldiers kind of surrounding all the dragons, kind of groping at them. And Yona's like, stop that! Let go of them! They're badly weakened right now! And you see that all the soldiers and citizens are looking a little bit fanatical. Like, why should we? Why is Koka hoarding this kind of power? It's like, right! And now how can you claim it belongs to Koka? It's like, there's no knowing how much truth there is in the legends of Koka's founding. It's way too dangerous for a violent country like Koka to hold power like this. And you see one of the soldiers putting a blade to Sinha's throat. And Gobi's like, huh? Now that's interesting. Even the stupid common folk have good ideas occasionally. I thought to prevent a war by offering Princess Tao to King Suwon as a hostage and forming a friendly relationship with them. But with this power at my command, I can have the upper hand against King Suwon without bowing and scraping. The dragon warriors appeared before me at this critical moment. Things are going my way. He goes, carry them away from here. Reawaken that dragon god. And as they're trying to drag him away, Yun toss himself on Jeha. He's like, stop! Leave them alone! They're not some weapon of war. Like, what's with this kid? Haul him off. Yun's like, Yun! It's like, Jeha and Gijo were so badly injured. I don't know what that power was, but it's like, what should I do? It's like, what if they never wake up? And one of the soldiers is like, you're in the way, kid. And as he's about to lean in to punch him, you see Huck just yanking him out of the way. And he's like, Thunder Beast! And he uses his blade to just slice the ropes holding all the dragon warriors. So you see him just hoisting one of them over his shoulder as he is carrying Gija in his other arm. And you see his wounds seeping blood. He's stealing the dragons! He's like, hold on, you can't have them! And you see, as they're trying to grab him back, he's like, quick, hide them! See the others trying to like drag Zeno and Sinha away. And you have Master Mazari and Master Yotuk are fighting the dragon warriors in town. It's like they didn't fight back no matter how much they were attacked. And you hear, I can't assist you in your war. I don't want my people or yours to have to endure despair again. It's like, droopy eyes, princess, how can I free myself of this hatred? He's like, I want to kill everyone here. I want to kill Suwon. Everyone who's ever harmed the people I cherish. I want to kill every last one of them. You see a pow as Algira comes to the rescue and kicks down one of the soldiers. And Huck is like, Algira. And you see Voldo cutting off the nooses around Sinha and Zeno. And look, Master Voldo, what are you doing? He's like, what do you think I'm doing? Snap out of it, you fools. He's like, I thought those two revolted against Her Highness. And Algira's like, thank you, Hawk Kitty. Even with your friends being held prisoner, you held back to keep things from escalating. We'll give these guys a good thrashing for you. It's like, if we get involved, it'll be considered a stupid domestic situation. And one of the priest flunkies is like, Algira, Voldo, I thought you were on our faction side. And Algira's like, shut up, old man. I'm defending the happiness of Princess Tao and the kiddies. It's like, Princess Tao owes her life to these people. It's like, and you, priest, I won't forgive what you did to Negoro. And Gobi's trying to play dumb, being like, Negoro? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. He's like, Yotaka isn't here. Did you do something to him too? And Tao goes, Priest Gobi, you aren't anti-war at all. You're a demon who plants a sickness in other people's minds. And he goes, your words never reached anyone to begin with, Princess Tao. None of the people assembled here are focused on you. And Yona goes, actually, her words reached me. I'll make sure they're heard by Koka. She's like, Princess Yona. It's like, Suwon will be here soon. If Princess Korrin agrees to it, there will be a summit instead of a war. It's like, oh? But does Princess Korrin want to accept? It's like, things would be resolved far more peacefully if I attended that summit instead. He's like, it's clear that for the peace of this nation, Princess Korrin must die. And Voldo's like, Princess Korrin! And she just goes, watch your head. Gobi's like, huh? It's like, the concept of mercy has always been beyond him. And you see Zamira sword wielded as he comes in, flying in, and he slashes down one of the priest soldiers. And Gobi's starting to get scared. He's like, Mizari! And you see him slashing through the others as well. And Korrin's like, Mizari. It's like, Princess Korrin. It's like, how did you know I was here? She's like, your silent step and murderous aura are quite unique. It's like, sorry I'm late. I was looking for you. And you see more of the blood seeping out from his chest wound. It's like, Mizari. It's like, it's Mizari. It's like, still alive, is he? It's like, that's enough. Stand down. Jeff, Princess Korrin, I vowed to Sir Negoro that I would destroy all your enemies. I'm here to protect you. And he just bows as the assassin who's like, wretched brat. And he takes off with a dash. And you see inside one of the tents, Teiyu's watching over Yotaka. He's like, oh, you're awake. It's like, where am I? It's like the Wind Tribe camp. It's like, hey, wait, as Yotaka's trying to like push himself up. It's like, don't try to move. You see just tears streaming down his face as he's been all bandaged up. It's like, am I a prisoner? It's like, once we've tended your wounds, you're free to go. It's like, tended my wounds? How? By cutting off my head? It's like, we don't do vile stuff like that. And you see a dash and he just runs off with it. Oh! It's like, this guy's so much work, and he just collapses in pain outside. They're like, huh? He's awake? It's like, Ayame, is this him? It's like, sure is. It's like, may I touch your hair? It's like, oh, so fluffy, I want a scarf made of it. And he's like, these people are very peculiar. Do they hope to humiliate me by stealing my hair? It's like, but it's in rough shape, huh? Want me to apply an oil that'll help? And that gets him perked up. He's like, what? He's like, oh, that gets his attention. And you have Tay, young chief. It's like, the Scry Tribe army is here. His Majesty has arrived. And Yotaka's like, King Suwon? It's like, Suwon, Yuhan's son is coming. And you see chapter 148, Oh Light, Don't Go Out. And you see Yotaka still trying to like struggle to crawl. Like, hey, are you alright? Stop moving around, you're stabbed in the back. And Teiyu's like, lie still, I'll go see His Majesty. And Yotaka's like, I can't fight in this condition. I can't even move. It's like, Negoro, Mizari and Princess Korrin might not be in this world anymore. My existence is meaningless. And you see a clop clop as Keishuk is watching through the grounds. He's like, there's no sign of Princess Yona. Has she gone into Shing? And you see Teiyu striding up to see Suwon. And he goes, General Teiyu, good work. Has there been any movement from Shing? And Teiyu was like, Princess Yona said she met with His Majesty, but I don't know if it's safe to mention that. And he's like, General Teiyu? It's like, nothing yet. There's some sort of internal dispute happening. It's like the conflict between the pro and anti-war faction seems to have escalated. Give me a second so I can stop my dog. It's like he already has a feel for things here. No surprise. It's like, King Suwon. It's like, what is it? It's like, we've captured someone suspicious. And you see two soldiers dragging Yotaka between them. He's like, who is this? It's like, we caught him heading for Shing. He doesn't appear to be of the Wind Tribe, so he must have some connection to Shing. And Suwon goes, are you a citizen of Shing? And he's like, are you Suwon? He goes, detestable. I expected the demon's son to have a hideous face. And the soldier's like, he is from Shing. And Yotaka is like, it's true. I loathe Yuhan, but he's dead now. I've dreamt of taking his son's head, your head, in his place. If I were armed, I'd have split your skull already. One of the soldiers draws his sword, and he's like, the insolence! And you have a hold! As Teiyu goes, this man is injured and under our care. He's not a spy. And Keishuk's like, caring for an enemy citizen? One with designs on His Majesty's life? Teiyu's like, what are you implying? It's like, I want you to tread cautiously here. Or did you knowingly invite this dangerous individual to be here when His Majesty arrived? And you see Ayame trying to be like, no. And Teiyu stops her and goes, I apologize for my carelessness, but cutting someone down after saving them goes against my tribe's moral code. I can see Yotaka surprised by this admission. He's like, we must take care not to kill Shing's people right now. Don't harm him. He's like, huh? And Suwon's like, we're holding a summit with Shing rather than waging war. It's like, you hadn't heard? I thought Princess Korrin would have received word by now. He's like, It's like, I heard that Yokoka's princess, Yona, asked Princess Korrin to put the war on hold so she could negotiate with Suwon. I thought nothing of it, but it seems the negotiations went well. It's like, has Her Highness accepted? It's like, not yet. There are some conditions attached, so she may well refuse. You have Princess Korrin. I'm unable to be by your side. I can't even move. There's nothing I can do against such a loathsome enemy. What's your name? It's like, Yotaka. It's like, well, Yotaka, return to Shing and inform someone in charge of our arrival. And he's like, huh? You're releasing me? You're not going to behead me? It's like, I see no reason to keep you here or behead you. I prefer not to be wasteful. We won't get involved in your domestic affairs. We won't object if someone other than Princess Korrin attends the summit. I'll leave this to you. And you see soldiers dropping with the thwomp as Teiyu grabs him and gives him a shoulder so he can carry him back. He goes, I'll see that he gets to Shing. And then as they're walking back, it's like, why are you doing all this? Like I said, once I've started helping someone, I'll finish the job. That's my nature. And you see flashback to baby Yotaka going, I thought that only demons lived in Koka. Oh my god. You see Yuhan just like holding a sword with the heads pierced on it aloft. And you see in the background like a bunch of poles with like heads hanging off of them. You have Yotaka! You have General Namsek. It's like, you're injured, Master Yotaka. It's like, where have you been? Were you done in by the anti-war faction? It's like, you 5-stars are so useless. I hope you go bald. And you see them trading barbs. Like, well, what are you doing here, General Namsek? Where's Princess Korrin? It's like, I'm looking for her right now. But the revolt caused by the anti-war faction and their sympathizers has gotten out of hand. It's like, beat them until they stop. He's like, oh? Then stop wasting time and come with me. It's like, I know what to do. It's because he perked up a bit. And Yotaka goes, hey, Wind Tribe General. Thank you. And Teiyu's like, tell Voldo hello for me. It's like, I don't know who that is. As he just smiles. You have Negoro. Perhaps we should have learned much more and much sooner. It's like, everything has fallen apart. Everything I've built over the past 17 years was destroyed in just a few days. All because I couldn't repair all those tiny tears. Whatever the future holds, like he thinks back, whatever the future holds, we will remain at her side. It's like, Negro, right now, where is the one we need to protect? And you're Master Yotaka, you look pale. It's like, this is no time to die, you 5-star bastard. Take a look. And you see he's outside the camp where Algira and Mizari both fighting to protect Corrin from Gobi's flunkies. It's like, Princess Corrin is still alive? It's like, of course she is, fool! It's like, then indeed, this is no time to die. It's like, Mizari is protecting her highness. It's like, we 5 stars must stay by her side. It's like, move, move! It's like, if only for this moment. And you see him like staggering to his feet as he's trying to go join the battle. And as Zari's about to stagger and fall, you see Yotaka pushing his back against him so they can stand back to back. It's like, Sir Yotaka? It's like, you've done well, Mizari. It's like, you've never praised me before. And Corrin's like, Yotaka? It's like, Yotaka? It's like, I'm glad you're safe. It's like, who are you? And Yotaka's like, Princess Corrin, King Suon is waiting at the border. Gobi's like, what? It's like, whatever your decision may be, I will do your will. And you hear, kill them! Corrin must not be with King Suon. As the priests kind of like draw their weapons. And Corrin sees a sword sitting nearby. She picks it up and goes, Yona, here's your bow back. Protect yourself. You've done a great deal for my nation. Yona's like, are you hesitating? It's like, my hatred is still smoldering. But I will not hand my country to Gobi and those aristocrats. You hear, Voldo, Algira. It's like, yes? It's like, what? It's like, protect Tao. Don't let her be taken. She goes, Mizari, Yotaka, I'm going to see Koka's king. Follow me. And they're like, at once. And they're just following her into battle, cutting down the arrows out of the air. And she's slowly making her way towards Gobi. He's like, no, stop there. And he tries to scramble. He's like, wait. He's like, hold still, Gobi. And he shoves one of the women attendants towards Corrin. And she starts like, ee! Ooh. And Corrin like holds her, stops her slash before she hits her. And then one of the assassin flunkies slashes her from behind. So you have chapter 149, Gods. And Tao calls up, Sister! It's like, Your Highness! Like, stand aside! It's like, Princess Corrin's like, she's been wounded. It's like, did you see what Priest Gobi did? He used that girl as a shield. It's like, Your Highness! It's like, Princess Corrin! It's like, hurry and kill her! It's like, wait, please! It's like, I thought you wanted to stop her from forcing a war and to capture Koka's monsters, not to kill her. And Gobi's like, all I do is to ensure peace for Xing. If we leave her alive, you too will be sent to the battlefield. It's like, Her Highness held back when she saw me. It's like, you imagine that. Come, it's dangerous. Move away from her. And the attendant's like, no, we need to tend her injuries. And then you see back with you, and they're still trying to drag off. Zeno's like, stop it, let go of Zeno. And, what is this? Why did he drop the arm? I don't know, something happens and you hear a princess. Yeah, I don't know why the soldier dropped their arm. That seems like an odd little panel. It's like, you're being, and Gobi's screaming, you're being unreasonable. It's like, move or face divine punishment. Do you want to die? It's like, please stop. And you see Corrin going, you're in high spirits, Gobi. And as the assassin tries to slash out at her, she draws a sword and slashes him instead. And everyone's just kind of staring in surprise. And Snub's like, wow, long live Princess Corrin! She kind of staggers to her feet and is like, Princess Corrin! It's like, something wrong, Gobi? And you, highborn fools, don't bore me with those looks. Seeing you so energized cleared the fog from my mind and my eyes. I can even hear sounds in the distance. I realized I can't die yet. And you hear, that's good. Smile all you want from right there. You see more of the assassin bros like rushing towards them. It's like, the princess. It's like, she's still alive. And Voldo's like, many people needed to blame someone for their fears and worries, and they chose Princess Corrin. But deep down, the people of Xing do not wish for her death. Yeah, learning a sword technique like that takes a lot of training. The Corrin must have always intended to be on the front lines. See, we'll talk about this when we get to the end. And Tao's like, this is exactly what I feared. Seeing my sister and other loved ones battered and bleeding. And you see Yona kind of like grabbing her hand. She goes, Princess Yona? It's like, let's go to your sister. One of the conditions for the summon is that you both attend. I'm sure that can happen now. It's like, you really think so? It's like, she protected you until I arrived, didn't she? And she goes, Yun, Hak, take care of Gija and the others. It's like, got it. And you see Zeno saying, "Go with her, young fellow." And Yun's like, "Zeno!" He's like, "Are you alright? How do you..." He's like, "I'm fine." He's like, "Still paralyzed, though." It's like, "Don't worry about the 4 dragons, young fellow. Don't let go of our young lady's hand." And Huck's like, "Don't you guys die." It's like, "Zeno won't die." It's like, "Oh, you weren't referring to me." And you see Corrin just cutting a swath through the rest of the assassins. And Gobi's like, "Why can't you kill an injured woman?" And he jostles into someone's like, "Priest Gobi, tell them to stop attacking Princess Corrin, please. This is going too far." And you see all the citizens kind of like plead with them. He's like, "Who are those people anyway? Are they even really from Shing? Where did you find them?" He's like, "Please, stay calm." He's like, "How can you be so calm when ordering them to kill? Aren't you a priest?" He's like, "Calm down, don't shove." He's like, "Don't shove." And you see them just like trampling towards him. And you hear an amazing. "She's so amazing. The princess is glorious. I've dreamed for so long of fighting at her back this way. No, not yet. I want this to continue forever and ever." And you see that Zari finally collapses from like blood loss and exhaustion. And you hear a Zeno. It's like, "I want more time. I want it so badly. I want to see more of what she'll accomplish. This time, I want to be able to help her. Princess Corrin's like, Princess Corrin, it's like my goddess. You don't have to look back at me, but please remember me once in a while." And you see a flashback to like a bleeding and bruised baby Yotaka, and like Corrin's like kneeling next to him and patting his head. And you hear, Mizori! He's like, "Hey!" As Yelgira is like trying to rouse him again. "You hear, Mizori!" And you see as Yotaka stumbles and falls, Volda grabs him. And you see Princess Corrin cutting down one of the other soldiers, which you can see she's also getting weary. And you see Tao, Yona, and Huck also kind of like grab her and support her. It's like, "Where are Yotaka and Mizari?" It's like, "Yotaka's badly injured, and Mizari, he just stopped breathing." She's like, "I see. I'm in no condition to do much more. But Neguro, Yotaka, and Mizari opened a path for me." It's like, "Don't fret. It's not..." And you see Yona trying to like see her arm wounds. Like, "Don't fret. It's not serious. It's like, I'm going to stand before the king of Koka on my own 2 feet. And Your Majesty, someone's approaching from the Shing camp." You see a bloodied and bruised Corrin flanked by Yona, Algir, and the others coming up to her. He's like, "Hey, isn't that General Huck? And Princess Yona? Why are they with Shing?" And you hear Suwon going, "Are you Princess Corrin and Princess Tao?" It's like, "We are, yes." It's like, "I apologize for my appearance. I am Corrin, elder daughter of Bushin, king of Shing. This is Tao, his second daughter. We've come here for the future of Shing and Koka." And he goes, "I am Suwon, king of Koka." And you go, "But please wait!" Oh my fucking god, as Gobi runs up with like a little walking stick, trying to pretend to be an old man. It's like, "Priest Gobi!" It's like, "King Suwon, Princess Corrin has no right to attend this summit. She tried to capture your 4 dragon warriors and hold them hostage." And the Sky Tribe are like, "Dragon warriors? From the legend?" It's like, "I've seen them. They were at the battle against the forts in Sei." It's like, "The dragon warriors are barely clinging to life. Princess Corrin has defiled the gods of Koka." And you see citizens trying to be like, "King Suwon, that isn't true. They were mistreated on the priest's orders." He's like, "Such lies. I tried to stop them. I told them not to abuse your gods." He's like, and Suwon's like, "I'd been told that the dragon warriors are being held prisoner." It's like, "Most impressive, King Suwon. You were already aware." He's like, "But I have no connection to them, so it means little to me." Stupid Gobi just has a stupid ass look on his face. Like, It's like, "But according to Koka's legends, the 4 dragon warriors are protectors of the Crimson Dragon King. And the Crimson Dragon King is the king of Koka, who dwells in Hiryu Palace. Isn't that you? What king wouldn't want that divine power?" And he thinks back to Il telling him, "Suwon, she is the incarnation of the Crimson Dragon King. You're not like her." And Suwon's like, "What's the big deal about divine power?" And he's just another shocked face, like, the big deal? I myself witnessed the dragon warriors soaring up to protect Princess Yona." It's like, "The dragon warriors?" And Keishrik's like, "Princess Yona?" And Suwon's like, "I've come here to have a dialogue with people. Gods are of no use to me." And, Gobi's like, "I'm an esteemed priest in Shing, and I tell you, people will assemble before a god. Divine power is invaluable in politics." And Suwon's just like, "I'm very sorry, but it seems as though you can't comprehend what I'm saying. Kindly leave." And Gobi's just like complete amazement on his face as Koran just burst out laughing, goes, I never imagined you, Han-san, would get a belly laugh out of me. And you hear, Princess Koran, let's get you medical care before the summit. She's like, no need. I'm to blame for what happened. I can still speak with you. And he goes, then let's begin. Let's discuss the future of our nations. You have chapter 150, resolution. I really hope that's not it, but we'll see. You see Wind Tribe camp, the king's personal tent. It's like, this is all pretty stressful. It's like, relax. His Majesty and the Shing princesses are having their summit. It's like, think it's going well? It's like, who knows? But Shing's already in shambles. They probably won't have a choice about accepting whatever conditions are laid out, fair or not. So thanks to Princess Tao, things sure got tense before they all went in, huh? You have a flashback, you just have like a mini flashback as he goes, King Suan, before we begin, I have one request. And that's Tao talking to him. And he goes, what is it? Will you allow Princess Yona and Master Huck to participate in the summit? And you can see Keisha glaring at her when she suggests this. It's like, Princess Tao, it's like, she's the one who made all of this possible. She has a right to see it through. And Keisha's like, kindly watch yourself, Princess Tao. What happens here will decide the fates of both our nations. And Koran's like, and since Princess Yona was driven from the palace, she's no longer a member of the royal family. Is that it? And Keisha's just silent. And Yona's like, Princess Tao, it's all right. I never planned to attend. It's like, very well. But I hope you'll heed what I say now. We've all harbored hatred in our hearts for many years. We're here today because we trust Princess Yona. Shing regards her as a savior. We cherish our friendship with her and hope it will endure. And Hyungdae is like, she was really saying, don't you dare touch them, wasn't she? It's like, yep. You have Advisor Keishuk was extremely wary. Princess Tao probably sensed it. If peace is established with Shing, it'll be more difficult for His Majesty to touch Lord Huck and the others. It's like, I sure hope things go well. It's like, anyway, can I go see Lord Huck like fidgeting around? It's like, you need to read your surroundings better. It's like the royal armies arrive, but Lord Huck's acting as if he has nothing to do with them. And you see Yona, it's like, Riri! And she comes in to greet them. It's like, you came? It's like, follow the Water Tribe army. It's like, of course, I was worried. It's like, is it okay for you and Huck to show yourselves? It's like, yes, Princess Tao of Shing protected us. It's like, I've talked to the Water Tribe army and the Sky Tribe army. And the Sky Tribe army shouldn't be able to make a move right now. I'll protect you too. Have faith in me. It's like, thank you. It's like, but you be careful too, okay? It's like, I'm fine. I'm not scared of anything anymore. And you see a thump as they exit the negotiating tent. And Yona's like, how to go? And Vola's like, it's over. Starting today, Shing's diplomatic relations and military will be monitored by Koka. Things are unequal, but King Suan promised not to threaten our people's lives. And Koran's like, I was to blame for not keeping Gobi and his people under control. I had no other choice. You see Suan stepping out as Huck just glares at him. And Keishuk's like, what are these 4 dragons that Shing priest was talking about? And Suan's like, I'm not interested in that. We're done here. Let's return to Hiryu Palace. We still have to look into the flare the fire tribe set off. Keishuk beckons one of the soldiers nearby and goes, investigate Princess Yona and those dragons. And hear Koran going, Yona, your friends are still in Shing, aren't they? It's like, huh? Yes. It's like, Voldo, tell General Namsek and his squad to bring Yona's friends to Koka. It's like, Sinha, Kitty, and the others? It's like, and fetch their weapons from my mansion. It's like, at once. And he's like, I don't like dealing with General Namsek. And Yona's like, thank you. And Koran's like, now where's Gobi? It's like, he's disappeared since we last saw him. I'll never forgive what he did to Old Man Negro and Mizari. I wasn't terribly close to them, but I wish I talked to them more. It's like, I'll ensure that Gobi and the aristocrats of the anti-war faction pay for their sins. In spades. Jeff, hey, wait a second. Princess Koran, right? You're pretty badly hurt. And this is Riri coming up to her. It's like, it's my enemy's blood. It's like, don't lie. That's obviously a terrible injury to your back. You need to get it taken care of. It looks excruciating. And she's like, I won't seek help from Koka. I'm heading back to Kyu Palace now. Jeff, Ira, Tetra! Yeah, at your service, as they both just nab her by the arms. It's like, what do you think you're doing? It's like, Ma, you're in excellent shape, huh? And Riri's like, could we make use of one of your tribe's tents and some medicine? And Taeyu's like, sure. It's like, there's no need for this. It's like, now, struggling will just open your wounds further. It's like, they're too strong for me. It's like, let go! They're just dragging her away. It's like, we're hardly going to bill you for treatment, so come along. It's like, it's our medicine anyway. Yona's like, really, really is unparalleled. And you see in the tent that Yotaka's been all bandaged up. And you hear Taka, it's like, Yotaka. It's like, Yotaka, it's like, Your Highness. And he wakes up with a jolt. And he's just like, it's me, Yotaka. He's like, huh? Where am I? She's like, I had to borrow garments. Mine were destroyed. And you see she's in Tetra's clothes. It's like, you're welcome to keep them, princess. And he's like, am I in a red light district? It's like, give me my coat. Yotaka can't wrap his head around this. It's like, that's unfortunate. It's like, those clothes are in poor taste. You have IC. Mizari and Negoro are dead. Of the 5 stars, only I remain. He's like, Voldummy and I are right here. It's like, you don't count. You hear, you're alive. Well, that's good. You see Teiyu just staring at him from above. It's like, you're that wind tribe. He's like, I'm Teiyu. It's like, he saved my life after Gobi's scheme left me badly injured. It's like, I see. Thank you for caring for my subordinate. It's like, it's no big deal. Glad to see you didn't go and die after I saved you. I bought some medicinal dishes. Try some later. And you see Princess Korin. It would seem Koka isn't solely home to demons. I wish I could have told Negoro. And she's like, Yotaka, I'll take Negoro and Mizari back to Kyu Palace and have them laid to rest. I was planning to let you recuperate here in Sansan. He's like, no. I also wish to see them off. Please allow me to accompany you. Jeff, Princess Korin, Princess Tao, are you leaving already? It's like, yes. The army's withdrawing from Sansan and returning to Kyu Palace with my sister. It's like, I might not make it in time, but there's something I hope to tell my father. It's like, I see. And she hugs Sonia. It's like, Princess Yona, you helped me more than I can say. It's like, Princess Tao, I'm so glad we met. You too, Princess Korin. It's like, I spoke with Suwon, but some of my people undoubtedly still oppose this. I won't have time to dwell on the past for a while, so I'll try to move forward, like you. And you have a full look when I'll visit Koka again. Let's meet up sometime. He's like, hey, Al Gideon, say your goodbyes as well. He's like, but Sinha, Kitty, and the others still aren't awake. I want to tell them goodbye. It's like, they're fine. They're just sleeping from exhaustion. It's like, Zeno will tell them for you. It's like, oh, Zeno, Kitty. And just gives him a hug. It's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. He's like, goodbye. You see them all just waking up to go Algira. It's like, see you. He's like, Sinha, Kitty, Jija, Kitty, Jha, Kitty. It's like, Jha, Kitty. You see, a few days later, King Bushin passed away and Korin formally took Shing's throne. And you see the Koka army is able to form an advantageous treaty with Shing with no bloodshed at all. This is a tremendous gain for us. And Keisha's like, however, that princess is dangerous. And Yona's like, I'm so glad you're all awake. And Yun's like, you had us really scared for a while. It's like, sorry for making you worry. It's like, we still can't move though. It's like, what was that anyway? It's like, I don't know. It was involuntary. We were just desperate to protect Yona. And Zeno's like, the dragon warriors have greater power than you think. Excuse me. And Yun's like, how so? It's like, think of how Blue Dragon is left paralyzed when his power goes out of control. It's similar to that. We allowed our emotions to unleash a power we couldn't control, so our bodies were overwhelmed. So does that mean if we can learn to control it, we'll become stronger? It's like, Zeno doesn't recommend that. Zeno has nothing to fear, but it would shorten your lives. It's like, I see. And Yona's like, thank you for saving me, but don't use that power again. And Sinha's like, Yona. It's like, get some rest for now. It's like, hey, where's Thunder Beast? It's like, I don't see him anywhere. And Yona's like, I'll go look for him. It's like, Huck is injured too. It's like, oh, there are lights in the Wind Tribe camp. There's still people around. It's like, Huck stood and watched Suwon and the army leave for a long time. He looked so intense no one could approach him. I imagine he's bottling everything up inside. It's like, Huck, where are you? It's like, his wound needs treatment. And you have, all right, Lord Huck, lift up your arm. Oh my God. You see a little side story with Huck asking Voldo, were you wearing that mask because you're working as a member of the anti-war faction? He's like, no, it's because my nose won't stop running. He's like, nasal inflammation? And you see Ayame, I think it is, patching up Huck's wounds. And you have chapter 151, A Side of You I've Never Seen. It's like, there's Huck, and I recognize her from back when we were in Fuga. She's been tending to his injury. And she tries to call out to him. He's like, Lord Huck, hold on a second. And he's like, that's good enough. I need to get back to my friends. And you have a little note saying, Ayame saw he was injured and dragged him here. It's like, if you don't treat this properly, you might not recover. Look, you have a fever. And she just like puts a palm on his head to like measure his temperature. And Yona's just like, do-do-do-doom. It's like, I bet you were reckless after getting hurt. I'll boil up some herbs. You stay put. He's like, I can't. I have to leave. It's like, why are you in such a rush? He's like, well... He's like, oh, hey, Lord Huck, why didn't you tell us you were here? A bunch of the wind driver like coming up to Huck. It's like, too late, they found me. It's like, no fair, Ayame, don't hog him. It's like, come drink with us, Lord Huck. It's like, no, my friends are waiting. It's like, I'll take some medicine and go. It's like, oh, no need, they can join us too, I'll call them over. He's like, don't. It's like, come on back with us, Lord Huck. You haven't returned for 3 years, not since you became a general. Do you want Taeyeon to cry? And Yona's like, it's because he became my bodyguard. It's like, say something, Ayame, you're his fiancé. And Yona's like, huh? His fiancé? He's like, come on, the old man decided that when we were kids. And Yona's like, and Munduk approves? It's like, the elder chief wants to see your children, Lord Huck. It's like, all I need is for Lord Huck to stay alive. Like they say, a healthy husband is best out of the house. And Huck just gives Ayame a little smack, like, don't you start. He's like, bet Ayame'd be a feisty mom. And Yona's just like embarrassed and like runs away. It's like, anyway, Ayame's Saki's girlfriend now. It's like, I know, and the old man was happy about that too. They're like, haha, Lord Huck got dumped. And you see back at the campfire, it's like, hi, Yona. It's like, huh? It's like, you look so gloomy. Just like despondent written above her. It's like, no, I don't. And Yona's like, where's Thunder Beast? And she's like, I didn't see him. And you hear her, did you call me? And her heart goes to dump again. And Yona's like, where'd you get to? It's like, sorry, I was busy. And he looks over at Yona and he's like, what's the matter, your highness? She's like, how are you feeling? It's like, fine, there's nothing wrong. It's like, she said he had a fever. I wonder if he got any medicine. It's like, I hope so. I want him to get well quickly. And she gets all droopy and she's like, she was so beautiful and mature. Pretty sure she's the same age as me. Huck said it was so different from her and that I should try to be sexier. Now she's just brooding, remembering that. And he's like, but he's stuck with me even though he has someone like her? Huck is so kind. It's like, wait, just recently she thinks back to the kiss she gave him and starts freaking out. And Yona's like, what's wrong? It's like, your highness, is it an intruder? Are there bugs? It's like, it's nothing. And Huck's like, princess. He puts an arm on her shoulder and she freaks out again. And she's like, I'm going to bed. And she runs to her tent. It's like, what's with her? It's like, I only just realized I did something totally rash. It's like, she's so focused on the events in Shing that she forgot. She's just like trembling under a blanket. It's like, this is so embarrassing. An engaged man. No, it would be embarrassing either way. It's like, I hope Huck's forgotten about it. Although he did mention something. And she thinks back to Huck telling her they have to talk once this is all over. It's like, about what, I wonder? It's like, I'm scared. What if he wants to leave us and go home to the Wind Tribe? Or wants his fiancée to travel with us? It's like, he needs to talk to me about something. It's like, it's possible. And she slumps over. It's like, there's one thing that's especially embarrassing. Ever since I was little, I somehow believed that I was the girl Huck was closest to. But when I saw him with his people, I barely recognized him. I thought I knew everything about him, but I only knew the parts of him that belonged to my small world. I've been so self-centered. And you see the next day, he's like, Xeno's back to normal as he's stretching. It's like, that's wonderful, you're back. And he goes to hang up his clothes and change. Like, time for clean clothes. It's like, Xeno's quite robust. And Gita's like, I still can't move. And Jaeha's like, same here. And she's like, don't push yourselves, take it easy. And you hear, want me to help you up, White Snake? Huck goes and grabs his arms and pulls him up into a sitting position. And Yona's like, Yun, I'll help prepare lunch. And Gita's like, now I'm stuck here. And Jaeha's like, Huck, pull me up too. It's like, Xeno, since you can move, now help out. He's like, oh, Xeno's back suddenly hurts. And Huck's like, your highness? And Yona just flinches and runs off. It's like, I'm going to fetch some firewood. He's like, your highness? Like, oh, we have plenty. I'll go hunt a bird. He's like, you're high? He's like, actually, I'm all out of arrows. I'll go draw some water. She just takes off running with Huck chasing after her. It's like, why are you running away? It's like, I'm not. I'm just busy. It's like, you are not. I'd say things have finally calmed down a little. It's like, every day is a matter of life and death for me. It's like, why are you in such a rush? You're walking so fast. And you see them both sitting by the river's edge, just wheezing. It's like, why are you suddenly avoiding me? Can't believe you got me out of breath. She's like, I'm not. It's like, too scared to hear what he has to say. It's like, you won't meet my eyes. She's like, I don't have to stare at your face. He's like, if you don't want to see my face, then why did you do what you did at Ogi's bar? And you see a gong. And she drops the little water bowl she's filling up. And Huck takes it from her and refills it. She's like, that was... It's like, so you do remember. It's like, glad I didn't imagine it. It's like, it was what? She's like, it was... She freaks out and goes, "A farewell gesture!" And he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Please give me an explanation I can be satisfied with." And she's like hiding her face, like, "Forgive me." It's like, I won't do it again. I'm sorry. And Huck's like, "Don't apologize. It didn't bother me. I'm fine with it." He picks up the water. He's about to carry it back. And she's like, "Right. It's not only about me. I need to find out what he wanted to talk about. I have to accept whatever he says." She's like, "Huck, you wanted to talk to me?" It's like, "Did I?" It's like, when we were escaping the assassins in Shing." It's like, "Oh." It's like that. It's like, "Nah, it's nothing. Please forget about it." And they're walking back in silence to see the Wind Tribe packing up camp. It's like, "Huck, the Wind Tribe's preparing to leave." It's like, "Are they?" It's like, "Shouldn't you head over?" It's like, "Why? Aren't they all waiting for you? The Sky Tribe left after all. Maybe you can go back to Fuga for a bit." It's like, "Why would I do that?" And she's like, "We'll be fine here. Gija and the others are getting better, so you don't need to worry." It's like, "Your Highness, do you not need me?" She's like, "Whether I need you or not isn't the point. You care so much about the Wind Tribe and Ayame." Poor Huck's just like, "What's Ayame got to do with it?" It's like, "Of course I do." It's like, "That's all the more reason I can't go back." It's like, I didn't mean, it's not like that." It's like, "Haven't I made it annoyingly clear that I'm not leaving your side?" She's like, "But you're constantly saving me. Once I'm able to handle things without you, I thought I'd release you. So you should do what you want." He's like, "Are you saying that time's come?" She's like, "Huh?" He's like, "I appreciate your consideration." He turns around and walks back to the camp. As you see, chapter 152, I care about many things. I love these two awkward two fools. And Yun's like, "Thank goodness, you can all get up now." And you have Yun and Yona just baby feeding them. It's like, "I never imagined needing a nurse at my age." And it's like, Huck can't raise his arms. It's like, "Gija, open your mouth." And you see Huck feeding Sinha. It's like, "Huck, are you okay?" It's like, "Why do you ask?" It's like, "Yun, I've got something to do tomorrow. Mind if I head out?" He's like, "What's going on?" It's like, "I've got people to see." It's like, "Fine by me." It's like, "Oh wait, Yona, you wanted to bathe tomorrow, right?" It's like, "Huh?" It's like, "Jahan and the others aren't back to normal yet. Stick around here while Yona's bathing." It's like, "No, it's fine. I'll be alright. Go wherever you want, Huck." And he just stares at her and goes, "I'll stay until you're done bathing." And she goes to go bathe herself. And she's like, "Huck's heading out. I need to be quick. I can't keep him waiting." And you see the splash of water, and Zeno's like, the young lady bathes energetically. It's like, "I hear every day is a matter of life and death for her." And Yona's like, "Huck looked terribly sad. I don't understand why, but I know I caused it. I can't keep causing problems from him." And she comes out dripping wet and goes, "Thanks for waiting." And Zeno's like, "Young lady, you didn't even take time to dry off. Your sash is crooked too." She's like, "The water was cold, so I hurried." And you see Huck just putting a towel on her hair to dry. And he's like, "Don't catch a cold." She's like, "It's all right. I can dry myself." He's like, "You have things to do, right?" Oh, she's like, "You have things to do, right? You can go ahead." And he just goes, "That's true." He's like, "Huh?" Whenever I talk to him, his expression goes so stiff. "Hey, Huck, where are you going? Who are you meeting? Can I come along? I'm too scared to ask. I want to be kind to him. I want him to smile." "Jeff, anything happens, send up a flare." He's like, "Will do." And you see as he's walking off, Yun's like, "I wonder who he's meeting. Like someone from the Wind Tribe, perhaps?" And Jaha goes, "Yona, come over here. It's warm." It's like, "Can move a little now." And Yun's like, "Here's some yuzu tea." It's like, "Oh, thank you." It's like, "It's delicious." And Jaha's like, "Did something happen between you and Huck?" She's like, "Huh?" It's like, "No, nothing in particular." It's like, "You're an awful liar, Yona. Huck looked pretty gloomy." And she's like, I didn't know what to do." It's like, "Take it slow and tell us what happened." She's like, "Huck has a fiance." And they're all like, "Okay. Huh?" It's like, "So anyway," it's like, hold on. You can't drop a bombshell like that and just keep going back up." It's like, "Is that true?" It's like, "Uh-huh. I overheard him talking to some Wind Tribe folk yesterday. Apparently Mundok decided on it." It's like, "Mundok's the one who raised Huck, right? He's a hero of the Wind Tribe." And Jaha's like, "Hey, Zeno, Sinha, this is no time to sleep. We're getting to the good part." It's like, "So what did you do?" It's like, "The Wind Tribe have been waiting for Huck to return for 3 years, and he has a fiance. I told him he should go back to Fuga for a bit. And then he said, 'Do you not need me?'" And Yun and Jay are like, It's like, I didn't mean it like that, but he's always saving me. So I told him that when I was able to handle things without him, I thought I should set him free. You see all the dragons just toppling over. And he's like, huh? And Yun's like, Yona, that sounds like you're saying you don't need the Thunder Beast. She's like, huh? But that's not what I... It's like, I know you didn't mean it like that, but that response would put him in an awkward position. It's like, things are already complicated with him. He's like, are you sure? It's like, absolutely. She just starts panicking. He's like, I was so overwhelmed at the moment. Why couldn't I explain myself better? It's like, I hurt Huck's feelings. And it's like, I don't think you have to explain yourself better. As long as you're straightforward and tell him your true feelings. It's like, true feelings? It's like, I'm sure Huck will understand. And Jaeha's like, that thing about a fiancé must be some kind of mistake. You should probably ask him about it. She's like, I'm too scared. It's like, scared? How come? Would it bother you if you had a fiancé? She's looking all embarrassed, and she's like, when you put it like that, it would bother me. A lot. And Jaeha starts laughing. He's like, I thought so. It's like, then tell him that too. It's like, no way! It's like, why? It's like, he might be meeting Ayame right now. He's like, he didn't talk to me even though he'd said he had something to say. I think he's angry. Jaeha's like, a talk, huh? It's like, but if you're not honest with him, you might not have that talk. And worse, he might leave without you two sorting out this misunderstanding. Are you okay with that? He just shakes her head. He's like, Huck left not that long ago, but I already want to see him. And you hear, oh, Huck, from Sinha as he walks back into the camp. It's like, he came back. So, did you bring food, fellow? From Zeno as he's carrying a package. He's like, yeah, I bought it from a merchant. I got weapons too. He's like, Huck. It's like, you went to see a merchant? It's like, I know one who passes through this area right around now. And Yona's like, Huck, I'm sorry about yesterday. It's like, why are you apologizing? It's like, I explained myself poorly. I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. It's like, yesterday I overheard you talking to some of the people from your tribe. I felt like I'd stolen you from them. Also, I heard that you have a fiancé, so it's like, I don't know how to say this. It's like, fiancé? It's like, oh, you mean Ayame? And Jaehan, you're like, he doesn't deny it? It's like, I see. So that's why you told me to go back and said you'd release me. It's like, yes, but it's like, I have to tell him. It's like, it's not that I feel like I don't need you. It's like, you are so important to me. It's like, so? It's like, I have to tell him. She's like, stay with me. He's like, what's this all about? He's like, huh? It's like, haven't I already told you over and over again that I won't leave you? Of course I won't. I'm not doing this out of some sense of duty. Figure it out, will you? I care about my tribe. If they ever need me, I'll want to save them. But this is the only place for me to go home to. You see Jim, he's like, oh my god, he confessed. It's like, don't tell me you're fine that I should return to Fuga like I'm some stranger. And she's like, Sar? It's like, you don't have to apologize. I just want you to know. It makes me feel like a little kid, though. It's like, one more thing. You said you'd release me, but I'm not following you because King Il ordered me to. It's like, huh? It's like, I swore absolute obedience to King Il. You might not think you're as worthy of this, but I've willingly followed you. I've been overwhelmed by your strength and passion. I want to devote my life to you. You're the one who taught me the pride of serving someone. And Yona's getting all teary-eyed. You see the dragons just passing out their own kerchiefs. They're just like dabbing away their own tears. It's like, thanks, Zeno. I was like, want one, Gija's like, yeah. She's like, Huck. It's like, you might get tired of this conversation, but can I ask you one thing? He's like, what? What will you do about Ayame if you're not going back? And he's just like, this girl. It's like, okay, listen, I hate misunderstandings, so I'll say this once. The old man decided all on his own that she was my fiancé. It's like, doesn't that mean she is? It's like, Ayame has a boyfriend, all right? He's like, hey, wait, you were... And he goes, you're the one I love. God, all right. Everyone just gets shell-shocked for a second. She's like, huh? It's like, don't give me that. Ayame has a boyfriend and I love you, so she and I obviously aren't going to get married. I'm exhausted and done for today. Do you get it now? And she just drops to her knees. Oh, just face just red as a tomato. It's like, yes? It's like, all right then. It's like, I feel better now. Man, alright, as Love Confessions go, that one was a banger. Alright, I guess some quick thoughts on this. So yeah, a lot of my criticisms from the last chapter still hold. I feel like this conflict again was wrapped up too quickly and conveniently, but it feels like it's setting the stage for something else in the future. So for now, I'll give it a small pass. I won't get too deep into criticisms for it. But yeah, like again, like I said, I really liked a majority of this arc so far, at least better than the Water Tribe stuff. But again, I feel like we needed more time with Corrin with the 5 stars as well, because they're obviously trying to draw like parallels between Corrin and Yona. Like both like were set on the path of vengeance. Both are supported by like 5 important men close to her. All that. Like there's obviously like parallels drawn between the both of them, but I don't feel there was enough time or development given to Corrin and her 5 stars to really make a lot of their sacrifices and deaths as impactful as they could have been. I feel like that could have been an easy fix by just giving them a little bit more screen time and development, rather than kind of like rushing this plot along so quickly. But apart from that, I still do like her as a character. I hope we'll see more of her in future arcs. But yeah, again, a little bit disappointing how quickly and easily this arc was wrapped up. But like I said, we'll see where the conflict goes from here before I kind of pass like criticism and judgment on that. This was something I forgot to mention in the last volume specifically, because it's kind of like something I was spitballing. And I don't really expect this to be something that the series is really going to touch on or address. Like all the talk about like revenge and like, giving up on it, blah, blah, blah. The idea that's kind of going through my mind was like, the idea of restorative justice. Like even if you don't want revenge, is there a way to kind of exact reparations of some kind of remuneration doesn't sound like the right word, but something like that, from Suwon for what Koka did, what Yuhan did. I feel like that should have been something that was at least addressed or talked about, rather than kind of like pushing the idea of like, revenge is never good, you have to give it up, all that, blah blah blah. Because I mean, like, yeah, alright, like I feel like with a lot of revenge stories, the singular idea that kind of gets bandied around is the idea like, the only way to solve it or find closure is through violence, drawing blood and all that, without talking about like the other ways to find closure around like war crimes, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's not something I'd really expect a series like this to tackle, but I feel like it would have been at least interesting given how frequently the idea gets brought up in relation to this. But yeah, I think that's the only other thing I really had to say. I don't think there's much else. I think the strongest part of this volume by far was the development of the romance between Yona and Huck. I hope this is kind of like a turning point in it now that Huck has finally confessed, and we'll see some like actual development with regards to this. I love this frustration finally boiled over after like everything. He's like, on the one hand, it's really well done because the last couple of volumes have been kind of setting this up slowly, where Huck's kind of realized that he's got a newfound family that he cares about, that he loves and like wants to be around. So I love how like that has slowly ramped up to him finally confessing his feelings to Yona as well, out of just like the pure frustration of like the misunderstandings and everything. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate also that Yona, like, despite all like the other changes, like the way she's matured, I appreciate the fact that her love life is the one thing where she's still, just a teenage girl, and she's like so unsure of how to handle it after her first crush killed her father, and she's trying to like work out her feelings for the only other kind of person she knew. But given, how isolated and naive she was at the beginning of the series, I feel like that plays well with her. And it doesn't feel too stereotypical or too stereotypical. So yeah, I like that. I think that was by far the best part of the volume. Hoping to see some development with that. Interesting to see where we're going to go from here. Looks like Gobi's probably going to become a recurring villain at some point. So it'll be interesting what happens with that. But yeah, apart from that, I hope you all did enjoy my reaction to these last couple of volumes. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, YouTube's algorithm really gets a rush of endorphins when you push those buttons. It helps it learn that my videos are worth promoting to a wider audience. So like I said at the beginning, if you would like to help me do that, if you haven't been already, that would be greatly appreciated. Like I mentioned, both Akane and Spy Family should be out by now. Expect Yona to hit the channel sometime this evening. And some more volumes coming in next week. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.